after their 17-week ultrasound.
These are his legs. His hands and feet are in the air like this.
Okay.
The scan where the couple first found out they were having a baby boy.
The ultrasound tech was acting strange. She got really quiet, and when she got to his head and was measuring it, she didn't say a word.
Then, the very next day, the phone rang with sobering news.
They told me he had spina bifida.
Wow. And how did you process that?
I don't really know. I didn't really process it at the time. I couldn't really believe it.
Turns out that initial diagnosis was wrong, but the scan showed a severe brain abnormality. Their son's head was not forming properly, the brain almost non-existent. Miraculously, Jaxon survived. He's now just over a year old. The doctors didn't expect him to. In fact, it was the sort of pregnancy where doctors, as gently as possible, mention the word termination. Abortion is much too charged a word.
It wasn't until 23 weeks pregnant that it was brought up.
About the options.
That we had the option to terminate in the state of Florida until 24 weeks.
To put it bluntly, many American families faced with that 17-week scan would not have brought this baby into the world.
How many fingers do I see?
Jackson's parents gave him a chance.
Where do they come from? I can't say, but I bet they have come a long, long way.
But in a way, this is the essence of that debate, isn't it?
It can be if anybody wants to
Sort
turn
of.
it
Some
into
people
it.
take it that way, but
we never
we don't try to take it that way.
No.
Hi, handsome.
They did think about termination.
I would feel terrible doing something like that. But if they were to tell me he was going to suffer, or he would be in pain, or my life was in jeopardy, then my thought process might have been different.
We're Christian, and we believe in what we believe in, but we still are going to do the best thing for our family, for Brittany, and ultimately for Jaxon.
And this is Jaxon today, severely disabled, but thriving.
For us, this just seems normal. We don't have another child. This is the first one.
Even just bathing him is a task that requires both parents.
You want to play with your toys? Was that a yes or was that a no?
Where do you put his happiness?
He's
You
happy
happy, baby?
almost all the time. He's just like any
is.
other baby. He's teething and gassy, so he's cranky often.
There you go. Good job.
And he is the sweetest baby. I know we're biased, and that's fine, but
Every parent is,
yeah,
right?
of course.
But Jaxon is not like most other babies. Here's what his brain should look like. Instead, this is Jackson's brain. Only a year later did neurologists at Boston's Children's Hospital come up with a proper diagnosis.
Microhydranencephaly.
Dr. Heather Olson saw Jaxon in August.
How much of the brain is there?
So very little.
Will he ever be able to talk?
I would be shocked if he could.
Will he ever be able to walk?
Independently, very unlikely.
There's no prognosis. Doctors are surprised he's made it this far.
Do you have any sense as to how long he can survive with this?
I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. It really depends on the medical complications.
Such a good boy.
He's only made it this far with the help of his parents. Jaxon gets nutrition through a feeding tube. Burping him involves removing the excess fluid directly from his stomach. He sometimes suffers
It's okay.
from mild seizures.
Even when he's really calm, sometimes he'll go into a slight seizure.
Is he suffering?
I don't think so. He was irritable when I saw him, and there's nothing about this that causes pain per se.
Pain and suffering are not necessarily the same things. In the end, the doctors themselves say that science alone can't answer that question.
And what is his quality of life?
Again, I met him once, so I don't have a full appreciation of that, but I would ask his parents.
Can you press the buttons?
How he's able to see the lights on his toy turtle is baffling because the cerebrum is so small as to be practically non-existent.
You gotta press the
You
button.
remember.
Mommy can't do it for you.
remember.
I'll remind you. See the big red button? You put your hand and then you press it.
Like that.
And yet his parents, who spend so much time with him, are convinced their son is in there.
Yeah.
It's so cute when he gets so proud of himself
It is.
and he grins.
It's a cute grin.
It is cute.
You're so cute.
Responding to their love and attention.
Every day we spend time with him. Every day we play with him. Every day we say, I love you.
100 million times.
Maybe a little exaggeration, but probably over 100 times every single day, no exaggeration.
Can you sit up like a big boy?
We call him by his name. We say, Mommy's here, Daddy's here. We love you so much. We're so proud of you. You're so strong. You're so smart. He hears those every day from us. And sure, maybe I'm biased, but I believe that positive reinforcement and talking to him and loving him.
That was a big yawn, buddy.
I think he's responding to that very well.
Not only that, they feel he loves them back.
I love you.
They hear him saying so in videos such as this one.
I love you.
And even if others may not hear it, these parents feel it. But Brittany and Brandon also hear from the naysayers. Whenever they post Jaxon's photos and videos online, people write the most terrible things.
And we can't fathom what kind of people would, one, think something like that about an innocent child, especially one with special needs, and two, actually hit the send button.
He's a lucky boy. You guys seem like great parents.
We try.
We are trying hard.
Jaxon is lucky because many parents would not have given him that chance. It hasn't been easy. A lot of his treatments, including that trip to Boston, are not covered by insurance. They've had to resort to a GoFundMe campaign, which is covering most of their bills for now.
Every decision that we have ever made for him have been about his happiness, his comfort, no matter what that meant and no matter what the cost.
I feel like Jaxon's doing so well and can teach the medical world so much.
And we realize that Jaxon's life has a purpose, whether you are faith-based or whether you just are scientific and want to see more about medicine, learn more about the human brain. And at the same time, we realize the reality of Jaxon, that we're probably going to outlive him. There is an excellent chance of that. We're just trying to give him the best life possible.
Knowing that it might be a short one.
We realize that. So every day is precious.
Ordinary people struggling with an extraordinary burden and doing it with love. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Tavares, Florida.